Hello everybody and welcome to Overland Hacks episode 2, washing your rig. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. First step, open up an alcoholic beverage. Alright, now we're good to go. So, washing the Ford. Obviously it's going to be a little bit different washing this as opposed to probably your rig because it's covered in bed liner. But all the stuff I'm going to use is going to be same across the entire board. You can use all these methods for washing your rig and for making it look really good and then making sure it's ready to go for the next time you're planning on using. So with that being said, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to go through the steps where I normally would, and then I'll throw in the overland hacks as we usually do, 1 through 5 as we're going along and washing our rig. So let's get it. Alright, so first thing I kind of like to do is really see how dirty it is. I have not washed the Ford since the last time we went off-roading, so it's pretty dirty. I got all these little scrapes right here and stuff like that, but that's okay, it should all come off. So if it's super dirty, what I will do is I will actually take it over to a car wash, and that way you can use a pressure washer and everything like that. But it's actually not too bad right now, so what we're going to do is I'll bust out the soap and then bust out the hard bristle brush and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is one of the few ways that the Ford's going to obviously be a little bit different. I use a medium bristle brush for scrubbing it really good, so you're probably not going to want to use that for your vehicle. So this is the stuff that I use. This is a wash and wax soap I get locally at the Temecula wax shop. They sell all of the really cool stuff for washing your vehicle and everything like that. I usually use that for the stuff for washing my Optima too. Works really good on the paint, leaves a nice little fresh coating of wax right on it. Ooh, so foamy. Okay. Put those guys up. This part's pretty self-explanatory. Start from the top, work your way to the bottom. That way you're not washing all this stuff and it's coming from the top and then working down to the clean surface on the bottom. Oh yeah, you're filthy. About 4,000 miles. Probably about, gosh, 2 or 3 trips after that, and you still haven't been washed. Hammered. Alright, so overland hack number 1. First thing we're going to do here, once we're down to the tires, is we're going to spray off our drum brakes and then also spray off our brake pads and everything like that. What this is going to do is going to clear off all the dirt, dust, everything that's constantly on our rotors and everything like that, and just get it all nice and just cleaned off. And that way when the brakes and the rotors, the disc brakes are going through, you don't have those little pieces of sand that are just kind of just grinding into the brake pads and everything like that. And then also make sure when you drive your vehicle right after this that you do realize that the pads are going to be a little wet, so it's going to take a little bit of time to dry. So the vehicle is not going to stop as quickly as obviously as if the pads were not wet. And another important thing when you're doing this is make sure you get both sides of the disc brakes and the pads and everything like that. Because essentially you have both sides. You have the inside of the disc brake that you use, and you also have the outside. So what I'm going to do here is I got a little bit of a better angle, so I'm going to get into the inside, get everything all nice and cleaned up into here as well. Alright, now that we got that all done, we're going to go ahead and start scrubbing with our brush. Alright, and overland hacks number 2. Washing your shock shafts. This is actually really important. You need to make sure you clean these guys off really good, and I'll show you why. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little illustration here on this awesome whiteboard of science. Bonus points if you actually know where that's from. And no, this is not what probably most of you think it is. Alright, so let's picture this is our shock right here, right? And we'll say this is our little eyelet right here at the bottom. So what happens over time is you go off-roading, you know, and everything like that, and then your stuff's obviously going to get dirty. So you're going to get little dirt particles and all kinds of stuff, sometimes mud, you know, on your shaft. That's what she said. But eventually what will happen is all that stuff is going to start to wear out this seal right here. And this is obviously where all your oil is and stuff up here. So obviously the shaft is going in and out and in and out. And this is sounding so interesting the way that I'm explaining it, but that's the way it works. And then eventually what happens is these dirt particles start breaking off this little seal right here. So an easier way to make your shocks last actually a lot longer is to make sure you clean the shafts all the way around every time you go off-roading. So we just finished the washing portion of our vehicle. Truck's already washed and just started rinsing it down. So what I'm going to read to you guys, overland hack number 3, and that is to wash your awning at this time. Now, your awning, it gets dirty, it gets used, it gets wet, so this is a really good time. Your vehicle's you're already washing the rest of your vehicle, you might as well wash that too. Is to bring your awning out, wash it, you know, use a soap, whatever the manufacturer recommends, and just get it really nice and clean. Make sure also you have a good amount of time during the day that you can let the awning sit out and dry completely before you bring it back in. The main reason I'm not going to do mine though personally is I've only got about 2 or 3 uses on it, so it's still pretty relatively new. But the next time I wash the truck, I definitely will wash bring out the awning and wash it and make sure it's all good to go. This is always a awesome find. So when you install awesome new Baja design lights, and literally the next day your girlfriend backs into a bush. Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Alrighty, so overland hack number 4 is going to be clean our engine compartment. So the whole point of this is not to soak your engine. I'm not going to stick it in here and then just get really in there and just soak the entire engine compartment. I'm just going to do it nice and light. Basically what I'm doing is just enough to kind of rinse off all the dirt and dust and everything else that's in here. You know, I'm not trying to soak the engine like I told you before. Basically what I want to do is just get all the dust off. That way if I need to work on the engine or anything like that, check everything, it's all nice and clean. And this is also really good for knowing really quick if you have any leaks, because your engine compartment's all nice and clean, so you can usually instantly tell whether or not you have leaks or anything like that, because everything's, like I said, pretty clean. Alright, so overland hack number 5, check your bolts. So what I'm going to go ahead and here is just check out every bolt all around the truck. What I'll do is I'll mark them with my paint marker that you guys all know about if you can check out my videos. And basically it's super easy. I can just look right here at this one, I can see the marker is still there and everything's in line, so we're good there. Check out this one. This one's still looking good. So yeah, I'm going to go through, check all the bolts, everything, make sure everything's looking all good and tight. That way everything will be good for next time we want to go off-road. And it's also super easy to do right now because we obviously literally just cleaned the truck. So, alright, and that is it everybody for today's episode of Overland Vehicle Hacks. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. I am a huge fan of keeping my truck, making sure it's ready to go. I do not mind using it. I do not mind getting it dirty, but I hope that I want to make sure that it is good to go all the time. And something else I also try and do is make sure that it is, occasionally what I'll do is I'll go to a do-it-yourself wash and use a degreaser there, get off all the dirt, everything that can get in on the frame, that's any mud or anything like that that's stuck on there, because that can lead to rust, and rust obviously for our vehicles is not good. And make sure that occasionally you guys are hitting your guys' frames with some spray paint and stuff like that. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.